Hi, I'm Sheryl Atkins, and welcome to What Do You Think? I am your host, a parent, and an educational attorney. Next to me is my husband of 25 years, William.
Hi, I'm William. I'm a lifelong educator and your content administrator.
What video do you have, Bill?
This is Dr. Suzuki, and she will discuss exercise and the brain. So let's give it a listen, okay?
How exciting to be here. What I want to try and do today is add to the amazing lineup of speakers today by bringing the brain into our discussion of the creative spark. And I want to do that by telling you about some of the newest research that I've been doing in my neuroscience research lab at New York University, asking the question, can aerobic exercise, that is, can going to the gym actually improve your learning, memory, and cognition? I also want to address the question of whether increased aerobic exercise can also make you more creative. Now, I remember the day that I realized I wanted to become a neuroscientist. I was a freshman at UC Berkeley, and I was taking a freshman seminar class with just 10 or 15 of us called The Brain and Its Potential, taught by Marion Diamond. She was standing at the front of the classroom, and up there at the front, she had this beautiful hat box. And with her gloved hands, she opened that hat box, and out she pulled a real, live, fixed human brain. Now, it was the very first time I had seen a human brain, and what she told us was that what she was holding in her hands was the most complex structure known to mankind. It's the only structure that can think about itself. And one of the most amazing things about the brain is that it can change as a function of the environment. It can learn, it can grow. And I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever heard in my whole life. And I didn't know it that day, but that idea of the brain and its potential and what's called neuroplasticity, the ability to change as a function of the environment, was going to become my life's work in science. And that's what I want to tell you about today. So I started out studying a structure in the brain called the hippocampus, really important for long-term memory. But more recently, I've become interested in how exercise can actually improve our learning, memory, and cognition. And I got interested in that not because I read a paper or went to a talk. I went to the gym. When I turned 40, I decided I wanted to get in the best shape of my life, and I went to the gym. And the class that I found that kept me coming back to the gym on a really regular basis was a class called Intensati, developed by this amazing fitness instructor named Patricia Moreno in New York City. Now, Intensati is unique because it takes physical movements from kickbox, dance, yoga, and martial arts, but the unique part is that it pairs each physical movement with a positive spoken affirmation. What do I mean by that? So in Intensati, we don't just punch. We say, I am strong now, and the class says it back to you. So what happens is that you not only get that great aerobic exercise, but because you're speaking out, you actually get an increase in aerobic output, and it makes you feel great. So the bottom line was I got in great shape, but there were two amazing benefits that I noticed. One was that I had this amazing motivation. I felt like $1,000,000 after I came out of this class, and I couldn't wait to go back. And I thought, my gosh, Patricia Moreno is an amazing teacher to instill that kind of motivation. And then I thought, well, wait a second, I'm a teacher. I wonder if my students feel that way after my neuroanatomy class. I'm going to come back to that in a second. The second amazing benefit was that when I went back to work, when I started doing Intensati, I was writing a lot of grants, and I noticed that as I got more regular with the workouts, my writing got easier. I was able to make associations better. I was able to focus better. And I thought, this is amazing. I want to look at the neuroscience literature to understand what's going on. And I looked at the literature, a lot of new studies coming out, as well as looking at some of the older studies that had led to our current understanding. And when I looked at those, I found a very familiar name. That name was Marion Diamond. So she was not only my undergraduate advisor, but she was a real pioneer in neuroscience research and really one of the only women working in this field back in the late 1950s and 60s when she discovered that when you raise rats in what she called an enriched environment with lots of toys to play with, lots of other rats to play with, and they run around a lot, and you compared their brains to rats raised in what she called an impoverished environment with no toys, just a couple of rats in a small box. What you can do is measure their brain. You measure actually the thickness of that outer covering of their brain called the cortex. And what she found is that the rats raised in enriched environments had cortices that were actually thicker. Their brain grew as a function of this enriched environment. And later studies showed that exercise, the increased exercise that those rats were getting because they were running around a lot more, was a big factor in that brain change.
So Sheryl, as you know, we've done some research of our own, and doctors like Wendy Suzuki and other neurologists like her have found that there's a number of things that exercise does to support the brain. So what I want us to do now at this time is I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to go into our PowerPoint presentation, and I want you to read off 8 ways that exercise supports student achievement. Okay, now this is for parents. Parents should know about these things because, again, this supports student achievement. So I'll call out the number, and if you don't mind, would you read the slide for me? Number 1.
Exercise will reduce your child's stress and anxiety.
Number 2.
Exercise will reduce your child's feelings of depression.
Number 3.
Exercise will help students suffering from ADHD.
Number 4.
Exercise will improve your child's memory.
Number 5.
Exercise will improve your child's concentration.
Number 6.
Exercise will improve your child's mood.
Number 7.
Exercise will increase your child's energy level.
And number 8.
Exercise supports good behavior in school.
Thank you, Sheryl. Sheryl, we have a website. We wrote 7 books last year that discusses things like this in our books. Can you please introduce our website?
Sure. You can go to raisinggreatnessbooks.org. There you will, as Bill said, see other books that we've composed. And also you can connect with us on social media and view other posts that we've done.
Other videos like this.
So until next time,
Raise greatness. Thank you.